2, 1. We're good.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome for a virtual tasting. I'm Olivia Chan. I'm the tea master here at Treasure Green Tea Company. We've been here since 1981. Started with my father.
Welcome. Okay. Please start again.
Oh, you didn't hear me. Hello, welcome everyone to our virtual tasting today. I'm Olivia Chan. I'm the tea master at Treasure Green Tea Company. We've been here in Vancouver, Chinatown since 1981. My father started the business, and I took over business officially in 2003. Oops. She wanted to say hi. So what's happening? So I was trained under my father when I was young, and decided to take over the business in 2002 and officially at 2003. So trained under my father, and what we do here is we bring in the best tea that we can find, premium Chinese tea, teaware, and to guide you through every step so you can have the greatest tea experience. Now today we are tasting one of our collection called Yunnan Bing Dao, Pu-erh. So Yunnan Bingdao is located in Yunnan province. One of the straight translation is called Iceland. Is located in Linchang, Yunnan province. The mountain in that area is called Da Xueshan. Is one of the very high, 3,200 meters above sea level, and Iceland is located in the mid level of the mountain. So the variety from this area is ancient trees, so beautiful tea leaves. We are going to be tasting both cooked and raw. They look like this. The packages, if you have your collection with you, or you just have the tea perhaps, it looks like this. And inside you'll find a Pu-erh knife, which we're going to use to take apart the tea leaves. So some collection, it comes in this knife here, this Pu-erh knife, or the other one, or some of them might come in this, because we sold out quickly with that collection of that knife. And so this one's like this, brass, beautiful Pu-erh knife. And why do we use Pu-erh knife? Because they are the tool that will help us to take apart the tea leaves. So what else? If you don't have a tray like this, that's fine. Use whatever, even a plate that you use for dinner, that's great too. You can just put that on your tray, take that apart, like so. So it'll look like this. Now this one is the raw one. We're gonna start tasting the raw one. Please get your water ready, your cup ready, and we can start brewing it. My choice of tool today is Gaiwan. Now Gaiwan is more versatile, easy to control in terms of temperature, and also you can see very easily inside what's going on. So the raw tea, my choice today is a Gaiwan or porcelain teapot if you have at home. Minimum, if you can, use a porcelain instead of glassware, because glassware does not retain heat as well. So if you have a porcelain at home, please use that. Okay, so now how much to put in? Now my brewing instruction is 5 grams. Now this guy here is 9 grams if you just take the square off. So let's take it apart and do 5 grams. And I'll tell you what 5 grams approximately looks like if you do not have a tea scale at home currently. So using your knife, depends which one that you have. I'll use this one for the raw Pu-erh, and I'll use that one to demonstrate for the cooked Pu-erh. How's that? Okay, let's get going. So take it apart. What you need to be careful is we are not stepping it. We're not doing that at all. We are gently removing it, because the idea is to remove the pieces in pieces as uniform as possible. So this is what you do. You just find a spot where you see you can insert the knife in, and then you wiggle like this. So this tea is very easily taken apart, thankfully. So what I'm doing here is, see, there are pieces like that. So let's get that, weight that up and see, we want 5 grams. Now you want to insert, and this is what you do. Okay. 好嘞。 So 5 grams is approximately like this. So if you were to use a whatever you have at home, if you don't have a tea scoop like this, if you don't have something like that, I would say it's approximately 1 tablespoon, this big spoon that we use for soup. Okay. Okay, now let's get ready. The Pu-erh is great if you are brewing in a traditional style. So I have 150 ml tea gaiwan here, a fair cup, and a strainer. So what do we need to do? Pu-erh tea. We want to bring the temperature a little bit higher, so I'll start off rinsing the tea at 95. Now each tea, because of the time restriction, I'm gonna try to do 3 to 4 infusions. Now Pu-erh tea, when you do the first sip, if the flavor hasn't come out, that's fine. That's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to release its flavor and leave very slowly, so you can taste the different and very diverse flavor in one tea. Okay, so I'm just waiting for my water to get going, and I hope your water is almost ready too.
Do you sell those little trays for separating the tea?
Absolutely. That's the way you say it's so funny.
It's actually a question.
Oh, wow.
I thought I made it up. It's an actual question.
Oh, okay. Yes, those little trays we do sell it separately. Should be on our website. If it's not, then we'll make sure it is.
We'll send you a link.
So this tea tray is made of bamboo, and you can take apart the tea in here and then just dispense the tea through this tea tray. So it's a little cute tea tray that we use often here. Okay, so let's, sorry, I forgot to introduce my colleagues next to me. So she's Yoshiho, she's one of our new Treasure Green team member, and I invited her to join us on the tasting today.
Yes, more tea, please.
Yeah. So now, I want to talk, while I'm waiting for my water, I'm gonna talk about the teacup. Ideally, you probably don't have that at home yet today. That's fine, because what I recommend when you drink Pu-erh, would drink out of a wider brim cup. Why? Because number one, we use high temperature to brew our Pu-erh. So if you find it too hot, the temperature actually would decrease a little quicker, but that's not the main reason. It's because Pu-erh is very rich in its oil. So this one, it will allow you to observe the oil and the steam that comes up, which we'll see when we, particularly during a cooked Pu-erh, you'll see that is something you can also enjoy, not just tasting, but also visually. So this is what Yoshio is gonna use today. Actually, I'm gonna use a smaller one for you for raw, and then so people can see it, the cooked one with more steam coming up. So some of the more higher vintage Pu-erh, this one that we're tasting today is 2014, so it's technically you can say 7 years old, or it's actually 6 years old tea. Good enough to start drinking it even it's raw. What you can find in the taste is a very unique flavor from Bingdao is that it is very powerful. It actually resonates once you drink it. Powerful in its aroma, it's got nice floral, it comes in a little bit more of a sweet and lingering taste in your palate, and the cha qi, what we call energy from the tea, is very powerful. You actually feel very lifted, and some people feel a little bit warm in their palm. All sort of different sensation you get from this raw tea. Okay, my water's ready. It's sitting about 90. I'm gonna do my rinse now.
Sound quality is awesome. Thank you for the shout out.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, so we're doing the rinse. Now, my first brew, my recommendation is about 90 because when the raw Pu-erh, particularly when it's younger, it actually carries still quite a bit of tannin and acidity. I don't want it to come out too early in the brew, so that's why we need to reduce the water temperature. So right now I want it to become about 90. So if you have a glass kettle at home, perfect. Just when you see lots of steam but no bubbles, like that, that's great. That's when you use the water. Okay. Now let's do this. Now, like I said, some people when they taste Pu-erh, first brew, second brew, it's not flavorful enough. Hey, let's be very fair to Pu-erh. The flavor doesn't come out so quickly, but you're learning the tea in the first few infusion. For this particular tea, I'll say its peak is actually 5th and 6th, when you get a lot more mouthfeel, more fullness, and more lingeringness, and more sweet note, and that's when it comes out as best. So in the first few brew, you'll find it can be aromatic and then mild sweetness. Mouthfeel is about medium, but it will increase as we brew it. Okay, so there we go. This is the color, very bright amber.
Thank you.
There we go. And I'm gonna use my master cup. Okay, now give it a smell first. I smell a little bit smokiness. What about you? Now take a little smokiness, and then when you drink this tea, again, 3 steps when we drink tea. First one is you give it an aroma. You want to enjoy firstly the aroma. Second sip, you want to enjoy the texture. So it can be light body, medium body, full body. Everybody pick up the body texture very differently depending on your experience. This particular first brew should offer a little bit of medium body in my terms, and also it should already provide slight sweetness. Okay.
What do you think, Yoshi? She seems to really enjoy
So
it.
good. I love this pour.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you pick up?
It's sweet. It's like sweet aftertaste. It smells pretty sweet too.
Okay, and then the third infusion. What do we look for? I mean, third sip. What do we look for?
Aftertaste?
Aftertaste, that's correct. Oh, fast learner, all right.
Yeah.
Wow. I pick up a lot of smokiness, floral, light floral, but smokiness is more forward right now. Again, that's gonna change. So I'm gonna pour out each infusion. So we are tasting the true second brew instead of mixing one and second together.
The cup has like flowery scent to it.
Yes, yeah, that's another thing you keep reminding me to do that, and I keep forgetting, is that actually the bottom of your cup is also give you a very good sense, a sensory experience, but the smell, it comes out really nicely. That would be more floral, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just love doing this. I can do this whole day.
Now, I just want to give you a little tip when you are brewing Pu-erh, particular tea cakes, tea breaks, whatever you're brewing, the time really varies. What we provide you is a guideline, but what you need to understand is that Pu-erh tea cake, when we take it apart, this one I happen to take it in very loose form. Sometimes when you take it apart, it's still in a piece. You will need to steep it slightly longer because it takes longer for it to unfold. If that makes sense. Okay, second one, I'm sitting at 90 Celsius. Second one, because I wanted to decrease my brewing time because the last one it already provided you a lot of flavor. I hope that's the same for you. It is for us here, so I'm gonna want to decrease my brewing time. Now, at home, please be your own boss in what you prefer. Typically what we do is, there's no fixed rules. All depends what you feel the first infusion is like. If your first infusion say, wow, that's quite bold, and you feel that you still want to enjoy a more mild version of it, do decrease the brewing time. So for example, if you were to do 10 seconds, you can try 7 seconds, even 5 seconds. Because remember, you can always add time, but you cannot have the tea open way too much and try to make it like it doesn't, then you lose the experience in between. Okay, second infusion, even more amber. I have the first infusion right here. You see the colors a lot deeper, a lot more stronger. You can already tell that's gonna be more flavorful.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, let's have 1 cup for our tech guy behind the scene.
Thank you.
Okay, again, you want to smell the tea first. Okay, and then you just sip, 3 sips.
I'm just gonna show up on this.
Ooh.
Oh. Oh. Bolder, deeper.
I'm the tech guy. Cheers. And disappear.
Okay, so this one I taste actually the sweetness now a lot more bolder. It's coming through more forward for me. Now if you are not tasting the sweetness being very forward, that means the first thing you notice, that's okay, because everybody pick up scent, taste very differently. So there's no wrong, but so long you, and I also actually find it a little bit more rounder finish now than the first one. First one, my water was boiling quite hard because of time for our virtual tasting session. I need to brew the tea right away, so my water was a little on a high temperature. But if you get your water correctly at home, the temperature, then you should have a rounder finish. But first one, because it was a little bit of the I opened the lid quite a bit, so that's why I want to decrease now and here. I like that sweet, lingering taste. Now, on to our third infusion. Again, the time, I'm not increasing the time yet. I'm staying within what I just did. I did approximately about 15 seconds. Now again, depends what you like, how you like the last one. You say, hey, I'm ready to kick it up a notch, taste a little bit more, do a full brew, do 30 seconds if that's what you like to do.
Very cool to see the 2 infusions side by side. Not something I ever thought to do.
Oh yeah, that's why glass fair cup is very useful when you use, that's great way when you do comparison. Third infusion, I'm adding the second one into this, so I can use this just for the third infusion. Now the third infusion is gonna be even a lot more bolder. I feel a lot energy. I'm actually a little bit like this right now. I drink a lot of cooked Pu-erh, raw Pu-erh. It's only probably when I'm like have a lot of food in my stomach because it cleanses really well. Okay. There we go. Third infusion. Wow, that is strong.
Ooh.
This is less than a minute, guys. With 5 gram, 150 ml Gaiwan porcelain. Okay, let's do another comparison. This is infusion 1, 2. This is infusion 3. You see the color difference?
Yes.
This one now is even getting a little bit closer to a light orange or very deep amber. Okay.
Thank you.
Mary says, wow.
So a couple of tag guy here, keeping him alert. Okay, here we go. Third infusion, definitely a lot stronger. You find a lot more body, a lot more lingeringness. Now, if you like this infusion, then you can say, oh, I do like it bolder, more fuller, and more lingering. There's a little bit of I'll say acidity undertone. Ooh, wow. But if you say, hey, I
Very
enjoy the
strong.
delicacy of it, now this is time that you do shorter infusion, even maybe lower temperature, okay? Some people increase because they enjoy that lingering, hearty acidity that hits your palate. It dries a little bit, it dries up your tongue, and then it releases, it actually stimulates your glands, and you become a little bit more hydrated.
Oh.
And that's the beauty of how that sensation sits in your palate.
That's delicious. That's so good.
Okay. 几点？中午。Okay, so the leaf is definitely opening up, but not fully. This tea, you can easily go with 7, 8 infusion. You'll find later on in the subsequent brew, it becomes less, the acidity subsides quite a bit, the sweetness comes, and also a round finish. So also very diverse. Raw Pu-erh, the beauty of that is it offers so much to you. Another thing is with this collection, it's a gift that never expires and appreciate in value, because each season, each different year, when you taste it, it becomes a different tea because it changes its flavor due to our temperature and how we steep it. And of course, our mood also change, right? Okay, number 4.
Question.
Yes.
What are you using to manage the water temperature?
Currently, I'm using my eyes. I'm not telling you much, am I? Some people use a thermometer. I personally do not like using a thermometer because, tea making, tea art is really a feel. It has to be a feeling, right? You have to be in it. You're feeling it. You've been observant of what's going on your table and your water. But at the beginning, you can use tea pads as your little guideline. You can watching the steam as your little guideline. But when you're not super comfortable with it yet, definitely you can use a thermometer to start. But once you get enough experience, try without it. It's actually a lot more fluid than looking at the number. Wait. Oh, here you go. No, it's not as fluid that way.
Carly Ryder says, laser eyes.
Thank you. They are not lasered, but they are laser eyes. Okay, here we go. Number 4. Okay, you can tell in real time, we can tell this is still a little bit stronger, but probably you cannot see too much in the camera. This one is definitely a tone darker. And I am getting a little bit tea drunk with this.
What's tea drunk?
Tea drunk, a little bit lightheaded, ready to dance on this table rather than making tea. Okay, so now this one definitely gonna continue to provide that You see that dryness is completely gone.
It's gone, and I actually have the sweetness of that second infusion. No, that's the third. This is the fourth.
Honestly, can someone tell me how many infusions I have done because I'm drunk?
I think this is the fourth infusion.
Yes.
So the third infusion, I still have the sweetness lingering on my tongue.
Right.
Yes.
Good. You have good palate.
Yay!
Beautiful. So this is the fourth infusion. Let's see what's going on here. Wow, I actually really like this one.
I like this one too.
Yeah, because now the tannin and acidity is subsiding, and now the flavor of the tea, the little bit of there's a hint of smokiness still, but florals coming right out, and the round finish. It's very round and sweet, almost a little bit like honey, like. Beautiful. Now, like I said, this tea, if you're at home, you're doing a tea session, it doesn't end here because this one can continue to do easily 4 more infusions, and the flavor will change as well. And let's move on to the next tea. While you're just sipping, and the last bit from that cup, can I? Okay, so when you
Harley Rider is Daniel, by the way. How long would you leave the leaves before coming back to them later in the day? Daniel.
Raw tea, typically if you leave it in the room temperature, I do not recommend for too long, not like half a day. But if you few hours, 3-4 hours into it, there's no huge problem, but I would do another rinse, just like you would at the beginning. Do a rinse, and then we brew your tea again.
Let's go, Daniel.
You need a guy one.
No, I'm gonna use this next.
Oh, you're doing
yes,
this.
thank you. Okay, so you finally got guy. Thank you. Okay, so next one. We are gonna use another Pu-erh knife because you might have the other version of Pu-erh knife. If you can help me to put that back. Now, cooked Pu-erh, super easy drinking. Fully fermented. Hey!
Sorry, I just came to say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
It looks beautiful in here.
Thank you.
We're gonna rush today, but we'll be back when the news are not here. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Okay, so the next tea is also from Bing Dao, 2014 cooked Pu-erh, also in a little waffle. So you can take that apart. Now remember, all your Pu-erh tea, just keep it in a room temperature is fine. If some of you want to how to store them, so they look like this.
I can hold them that close.
There you go. Thank you.
Focus camera.
Okay, so the next one. Oh!
Oh, good save. Good save.
Okay, so we unwrap it. Now we are gonna take it apart with this Pu-erh knife. Some of you might have this knife. Okay. Again, we are doing. I also do a 5 gram with this one. So this same thing. You want to insert and wiggle instead of stabbing it. So so you just basically make sure you have it this anchor pressed down because you don't want to hurt yourself. I've done that before because I was talking while I was taking apart ticket and it went through here. I still have that mark here. So you don't want to do that.
No talking while you're
sister.
No, I have improved now. I can talk now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm doing 5 grams, guys. So 5 grams, I'm gonna try to make it a little bit more chunkier so you get an idea what I mean when it's chunky instead of loose pieces. Perfect. Okay. So that's the knife. Can I have a plate, please? 白色嗰啲唔該。So I just want to show you, now this is sometimes when we take it apart, it might look like something like this. Thank you. So those are what I mean about pieces. Now pieces is, so you will steep your, the steeping time might varies a little bit because it's gonna open a little bit unevenly, right? Because some of them are chunkier, some of them are a little bit more loose. Do you break it apart? Not necessarily. Okay. So now, because it's a cooked Pu-erh, I want to, definitely there are no acidity in it. So I'm gonna do my temperature sitting at 95 to rinse. So firstly, we want to warm up our teapot. My choice today is a terracotta teapot. If you don't have a terracotta teapot at home right now, no worries, go with your porcelain, it's great. Okay. Okay, so I got everything in there. Now we do a rinse. 95. So rinse if it's in the chunkier pieces. There's no huge hurry, but you can just pick it up and then pour it out. But you don't have to wait either, but it's no big hurry. Okay. Now remember we're going to talk about, we are using another cup to taste. We'll talk about what we see as a tea oil as well. Thank you. Okay. Okay, here's your cup. Now the right brim cup will actually, later on you see what we call tea cloud. Tea cloud is actually when the liquid is in the liquid is definitely very hot, so the oil separates from the water. So when it separates, it comes up as a very thick steam, and that's what we call tea cloud. When would you see it? When the tea has become a little bit more stronger, and that, but also most importantly, it tells you the storage is well kept, because it's. So you think of tea when it's stored in an improper storage, what happens is the tea, when it's hot, it expands, and when it gets cooler, it shrinks. So this motion or this kind of environment will make the tea oil escape as it goes expand and shrinks. So in the proper tea environment, it should keep its oil really well. Okay. Here we go. You see, very rich mahogany color. This is what you want to see. Now, a proper storage also, it transforms slowly. It should carry that redness still from its original form of tea leaves. It should not be opaquely black. When it's opaquely black, that means the storage has been quite moist during some point. Okay, just gonna rinse your cup. There we go.
What is the difference between raw and cooked tea?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So the raw one is
Thank you.
at a difference. They go the first 4 or 5 steps is still the same process, and then when it gets to the raw one is a non-fermented tea, and where the cooked one it will go through the fermentation. The fermentation, each factory or each company, they might have this secret fermentation method, and it takes a roughly, anywhere from 40 days to 60 days before it's ready to come out, either as loose tea leaves or as pressed tea. And the difference, most important when you drink, is that this one you see there's no.
Let's hear some thoughts from Yoshi.
Go for it.
It's so sweet. It's like surprisingly sweet. I thought it would be like super dark and deep and bitter, but it's not.
No, that's the beauty of Bingdao tea.
Robert says, love the 70s Chocha pieces.
Oh, Robert, do boil that tea. Boiling that tea will extract a lot more flavor from it. Recently, I've been doing that, and I use it in one of our retro warmer. Bridget, can you bring the retro? I'll just show Robert that the retro warmer for the 70s Chocha piece, the rec warmer. It's working really well for me, and I just it extracts a lot more flavor. Now I'm getting really excited because I love that tea. So this is a warmer, just with a little tea can though, and with this perfectly fits on it. And you just leave your tea leaves in there, and follow the instructions. Just let it keep simmering there, and a lot more flavor comes out. It's smooth, it's flavorful. Okay, first infusion. Let's try the second infusion because I want to show everyone the tea cloud. Very easy drinking, hey?
Little earthy too.
That's what one of the character for cooked Pu-erh. So I'm gonna empty the first infusion into another fair cup. Very soothing to drink cooked Pu-erh, particularly after the raw one. That's why I wanted to taste it in that sequence.
Robert says, thank you, will do.
Thank you, Robert. Okay, so I'm gonna bring your cup up here. I can do that. So, so this one, would you be able to show our viewers about the tea oil later? Or you wanted to bring it to the camera?
The tea oil. Where's the tea oil? How do you show the tea oil?
When I put a tea on here.
Oh, okay. You can actually bring it closer to the second angle as well.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so what I'm going to about show you is that one way to enjoy and to know the quality of your Pu-erh is that the tea oil, the tea cloud will show you that. So what is tea cloud? Tea cloud, just a little recap, is a steam that comes up from the cup when you see it. That is when the tea has enough oil, it separates from the liquid. That's why it's a tea cloud. It tells the connoisseur, the tea drinker, that hey, this tea comes from a good storage, or a storage that's dry and safe to drink. Okay. Now, 有手機嗎？開燈。
我沒手機，誰有手機？
Okay, you see this white layers of cloud? That's why the white brim cup will allow you to see that. So if I was to put it under the light, you can probably see it a lot even. It's that oil. You can see on the surface of the tea. The oil is shows up quite strong, quite a bit. 看见吗？好像 almost like when you drink soup, there's a layer of
Oh,
oil.
I see it. I see it.
Yeah,
I have to get really closer to it.
yeah, because of the lighting here.
Yeah, and I feel like when you see it from the sideways, you can see it better.
Yes. Okay. Good. So this is another thing that you want to look for when you're drinking cooked Pu-erh. It doesn't show up as much when you're drinking raw Pu-erh. It's present, but it doesn't show as much because the color is a lot lighter. Oh. Oh, sorry, I forgot our cameraman.
Thank you.
Cool. I think.
Slightly lighter compared to the first infusion.
I did decrease. I think I would say the woodiness and the earthiness is quite balanced, and it comes out quite a bit.
Yeah.
I actually do not find it lighter at all. Yeah. Anyways, keep brewing that. That's gonna last you for good another 5 infusion. Don't throw it away so quickly. For Pu-erh, if you're drinking it for health purposes, cooked Pu-erh definitely has great enzyme. It helps you to digest, helps you to get rid of eating too much and oil. And the cooked one, the raw one, typically for health purposes, people drink it more daytime to get rid of cholesterol. Of course, both of them premium tea. If you're just drinking for the taste of it, definitely try it in different season and see how the flavor also changes through different season because the out air's quality and moisture is different. Again, we have another tasting tomorrow on Sunday. I cannot remember what time, but it should be at 12:30, I believe. 12:30, and we'll be tasting Organic Delight. And hopefully you guys have some time to join us then, and keep making tea and enjoy every bit of it. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm gonna take a photo of you guys. Ready?